Hello, you amazing, stunning, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Hitting the Bars. This is Keltie, and right next to me, which is so nice, not virtual, is the beautiful Sav. How's it going?
It's going fantastic. We are having a lovely time in New York City together. Our first in-person, I guess, podcast hangout.
Yeah.
You know?
This is literally
this is now like the third episode, but... Fourth episode.
Good math.
Yeah. Oops. But it is just nice because we are friends. And we started this podcast because we just like to talk to each other and hang out. Mm-hmm. So it was a great excuse. So you got to come to New York.
I know. And I was like, we have to do this more. And this is like the goal.
Mm-hmm.
And we just like ideally every month, but I'm not going to overpromise. Every few months we meet up for like a week or so. And just
every month. Do you know where I live? You know how long that would take me?
That's why I was like, I don't. So are we going to meet in the middle somewhere?
Yeah, we could.
It's so nice just...
I do get to see you for my bachelorette party in Nashville.
I'm so excited.
I'm like, do we do fun video, but like a podcast? But then I'm like, I don't know. I kind of just want to be in the moment.
I was going to say, that's completely up to you. Because my rationale, if you're like, we're recording a podcast, I'm like, we're recording a podcast. See, Bentley's like,
Bentley's like, yeah.
He howled. Married. My parents getting married.
Yeah. He's like, yes. Actually, he just wants his fresh pet food. So... Yeah. It is 7:00 and he's like, get me dinner. I literally can hear Michael open the fridge being like, oh my gosh, stop. Sometimes he like got into this weird habit where he howls until he gets food, but we would be in meetings. So it was almost like we didn't want to reward him for the bad behavior, but we couldn't do anything about it. So we were just like, fine, here, take your food. And so now he just knows.
I love it. I love it. And back to the bachelorette thing.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm going to throw, just
dog mom tings.
I've learned what I like about podcasters is when they say something, they don't finish the thought, and that podcaster remembers to come back to it. I was like, I appreciate that as a listener, so I'm going to attempt to do that.
Okay.
I'm not going to be perfect, but anytime I was like, I'm just going to try and finish any thought. Okay. I was going to say, I can do this. I will bring the microphone and I will prop it up. And if at any point you're like, I want to record, I'm drunk, let's do a truth or drink. We're only going to let you do a truth or drink, like bachelorette version.
That's so fun.
But there's no pressure. I was like, if you're like, I'm not sitting there, I'm delivering, there's no podcast when we record. So it's like a bonus.
That's the thing, because there's a lot of girls that are coming.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. I guess let us know. If you would like a live in the moment.
No, don't let you pick. It is your bachelorette party.
I know, but I'm curious, like, if nobody cares, then I really won't care to do it. Because, I mean, we could do it in the mornings kind of thing. Yeah. It's easy. 45 minutes, right? But then I'm also like, if nobody cares, then I'm not even going to bother. So that's why DM us. Okay. I want to know. DM me specifically if you want this. If not, go with you.
My only thing I think would be fun, truth or drink, bachelorette edition. That's the only thing I'm letting to let you do.
But then it would be like just roasting me.
No, it's
Bachelorette edition. What does that even mean?
It's just like funny stuff about just being a bride,
but then you're not a bride, so I'm the one that's doing the truth and drink.
I will also be involved.
Okay.
Trust me.
Maybe relationship.
Honestly,
funny dating.
How about this?
How's that?
Truth or drink? I drink for you, like whatever it takes. It is but we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do some like relationship. Truth or drink, the relationship.
There you go.
So we can do that.
Okay. Well, we figured we'd start off this podcast before we got into today's topic with a question that a listener gave us. So,
hit me.
Oh.
If you didn't know, we have an Instagram, Hitting the Bars. You can go give us a follow. We answer DMs there, and you can submit to our confession session, which we usually do at the end. But you know what? We're feeling spicy. We're going to do it right at the front.
Spicy. So,
hit me.
Veronica, I'm revealing her name because it's a question and she didn't ask to stay anonymous. So, I've been fighting off a nasty virus for 3 weeks now. I haven't worked out much since I don't have much energy and I'm trying to allow myself to rest. It would be interesting to hear you guys talk about what you do when you're sick and how you get back into fitness after a long or tough illness. It's been a torture for me not to be able to get to the gym, so maybe a conversation around staying positive, ways to stay active, ways to stay active without doing too much, etc.
I got one answer, and this is the thing I did post-surgery, and it's boring, but my God, you gotta embrace the hot girl walk. And like, because there's two things. Now, if you're so sick that your body just has to fully recover, recover. But there's also a weird line, and you don't know it till you just test it a little. Sometimes if you do nothing, you have less energy. And so something is, and like there is science sometimes about a little movement can actually help, just getting some fresh air. And that's why I was like, just worry about going on some walks. Try 5 minutes around your block. Have someone come with you. hold your hand. If like you can't do it, that's fine. But sometimes you see like after a few minutes, get going, listen to a good podcast, hit in the bars. Just kidding. Yes. I've got a good recommendation. Plug. And then like see how it feels. And if suddenly you're like, oh, this feels really nice, don't push yourself. Start with 5 minutes. And then the next day, if you're like, wow, that felt great, try 10. Build your way up and just start getting like my biggest thing when I recovered from surgery, it was like not to lose the habit of when I go work out. But I just didn't work out. So, for example, it was like I would do foam rolling. I would do stretching. I would do, even just use my Theragun. I would just kind of be like, oh, this is my workout, which was like the most I could do. But don't overwork yourself and slowly build it until like you feel better and you're like, oh, this is hot girl walk. I want to run. And then you're like, it's time to run, baby.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
I like that. Whenever I like have a cold or something like that, I'll go for, like you said, a hot girl walk with Bentley, and then I'll get like a ginger shot or juice if it's near me, and I'll go for a walk with that, and like you said, pop in a podcast, because it's just not worth it if you're just going to feel so crummy during your workout,
100%.
And you could just like make it even worse and like prolong that illness, that you're just like, just take this week, whatever it is, that way you're not sick for like a month. Because I don't know about you, but I used to be a kid that would always get sick, and so when I would get sick, I would keep my illness for like, I'm not kidding you, a month. I would always turn into a sinus infection, and I was always having to get antibiotics for it. So as an adult, if I get sick, I have to kill it and I have to treat it really well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I will have this like week-long sickness turn into a full-blown month infection. Like,
couldn't agree more, because that's always like my number one recommendation. That's why I was like, because you've said 3 weeks, so I'm just starting to be like, maybe start testing the waters. But at this beginning, when you're sick, the best thing you can do is 100% recover, because you'll get back to your 100% faster. Because say like it takes you 3 days to fully recover. After 3 days, you're back 100% in the gym. You'll be a little weaker for the first 2 days, but you still get a full workout, versus you start going to the gym the second day, have a crappy workout. There, by the end of the week, you just had like 6 crappy workouts, which one workout would have been better. And then you prolong it, your workouts will suffer, and your progress will suffer. You won't get better. And so just rest.
Yes.
But like sometimes rest, like movement doesn't always mean exercise. Like your body craves movement, but don't. That's why it's like literally start with 5 minutes and listen to your body. You'll know. Like when it's like you don't leave the house for a long time and you're like, it takes too much energy, I don't leave. And the second I put in a good song and I'm out the door, I'm like, oh, I needed this.
Yeah.
You just know. I trust you. Veronica, you know your body.
Yes. Speaking of infection, Keltie,
oh God,
we were in Central Park and we're running. We're running for real. So we're like doing these sprints to like get us in slow motion, looking at a camera as influencers in the wild, okay? And she goes back to run, and she scrapes her skin against an old, dirty metal trash can in Central Park.
Like, if you had to, like, describe, like, what is, like, 100% going to give me, like, infection, tetanus? It'd be, like, rusty old metal garbage can in New York City.
Yep.
What did I just slice my thigh on? I was, like, and normally I'm, like, pretty chill. I fall all the time and, like, scraping this. I'm, like, abort mission, get me some alcohol. I was like,
as in like to put on her skin.
Yes. But also
she wanted a shot too to numb the pain. But it was just funny because we went to a Walgreens and you like straight up lifeguarded yourself and
I did
fixed yourself up.
I wish someone could witness, because literally I was like full on lifeguard. I'm gonna, the almost med school route is coming out real hard. Went down just like in the sidewalk of like New York City,
the dirty city.
Sprayed like alcohol, like this alcohol disinfectant. Just sprayed it. It's all down my leg. Wiped right off my spray can. Wiped that bad boy. Polysporin. Bandaged it up. And then the extra, because I leave tomorrow, we're gonna go drop off to some homeless people.
Yes,
that's the game plan. But yeah, I just felt like I literally bought. That's all. Also, I've only said that because I felt so bad. I bought so much, and I was like, I'm here for a day. I can't bring this on a carry-on.
Yeah,
so
totally.
then I was like, I guess let's go give it to
Donate
homeless people. Don't waste it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, just there's winter's coming. You see homeless people. People think about food. Give them some like medical supplies.
Because everyone gets a little cut here and there. So don't want to get that infected.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my infection. But speaking of bad workouts, good workouts. That is the name of today's episode. So we're girls that love a good fitness class. You know what? Are they perfect? No.
Nope.
Are they going to optimize your sports performance? No. But guess what? They're my social time. They're my little treat.
Yeah.
I want to go get active. I want to go get like a club atmosphere, but not be hungover. I want some blaring music, or I want to stretch, or you just like meet up with friends. It's a nice thing to do instead of just going out for dinner. And so we've done ones in New York, LA, Edmonton, Vancouver, Toronto, all over. So we're going to rank in different categories our favorite and least favorite. So next time you're in New York, or honestly, if you're like, oh, what workout should I cost? What can I expect here? And also which to avoid.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
That's today's episode.
Yeah. Because I feel like workout classes are, at least for me, if I just want to be in a community that's like just, there's something about it that everyone's like, whether they're going out that night, whether their life is in shambles, we've all been there, right?
Yeah.
In that moment, they're like, I'm working on me and bettering me. And that's like my favorite thing about a workout class. If I want like uplifting people, I'd go to a workout class.
And it's a nice way to just feel seen if you're new to a big city. Like, I always do that. 'Cause
Make
like,
friends.
You first saw the front desk stack. You naturally learn the trainers, actually, which is a nice way. And then, like, people are ritual. So people are always doing the 7 a.m. together. And you just start the, like, change room. Like, that's how I talk to everyone in Barry's. I'm like, oh, this damn change room's too tiny. We're like, we know. And we all started a conversation. Compliment the gym girl's outfit. Like, someone complimented a bright yellow one last time. I got some compliments. I was like, oh, I'm feeling great.
Oh, yeah.
That's just having that atmosphere. So we need that.
Oh, absolutely. That's my favorite thing. That's like my pickup line if I want to make a friend is like compliment them on their outfit.
Yeah.
You know, like even the gym I go to here, she had the cutest hot pink set on, and I was like, girl, I love your outfit. I think it's so cute. And we are still friends now.
Yeah.
Like I know her well. I'm literally like, Gracie, oh my gosh, I leave soon.
Yeah.
And it's like all from just, she was like, thank you so much. Are you new here? And she was a trainer. So she was like, this is what I do.
Yeah.
And it's so nice because then you make a friend.
Exactly. And it's just like, especially if you're like you're getting into fitness, you want more friends to do fitness, go to places fitness people go to.
And then it's like an accountability because maybe you'd be like, say you become friends and then you like just know you go to this yoga class, whatever it is, you're always going to be like, see you there. Like even my friend Sam, I always text her. She did yoga on Sundays. So Michael and I were like, can we join you? So now we do yoga every Sunday with her.
Oh, I love that.
And it's like, we're not like texting her like, are you on your way? It's just like we both show up and then for an hour after we sit in a park, we catch up, we hang out, the three of us, and then we say, all right, have a good Sunday, and we see her later.
That's so nice. And also a good thing when you have a really good class, find the trainers out. It's not like a PT. They're going to call up, be like, where are you? And don't ever expect that. But they're saying nice. I find the good ones are like, hey, I noticed you going at 13 miles per hour. Like they'll just like, that they do catch on. And then it's just nice that feeling and be like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We're like, I see you. Like, they do notice. And like, that's a sign of a good place. But like, it's really nice to have that like accountability. But also that just being like, a lot of time when you're a finisher, you make progress that only you see. Or like no one else is really paying attention because we're all selfish and consumed with our own lives and TikTok. So it's nice every once in a while to just like, they'll be like, hey, I saw you doing that extra squat. And we're like, oh, yes, I was.
Absolutely. Yes.
On that, let's start off
Let's
with
jump in.
number 1. So there's going to be 5 categories, worst experience, and then we're going to rank them all.
Yes.
And this is anywhere in the world.
Yes.
You can have them. So first, number 1 category, I'm going to say like hit class circuit. So you know what I mean? Like something that's got some weights, some running, some sprinting, different intervals-esque. What's your number 1?
F45. It's fast, and what I love about it is there's like TV screens at each station, and they also, the trainer always like gives an example.
There's always like a...
Wait, what is it called? They demonstrate. I was having a brain fart. They demonstrate like it as well, and you have the person demonstrating on the TV at all times, so there's never confusion. So that was my favorite thing, was even if it's like a tough like compound movement that I'm like, I don't even know, there's so many different twists to this, I just watched the TV. So that was nice. And I loved this one trainer. I did it when I lived in Huntington. His name was Yuli. And like how you said they notice, I would go every single day at noon, and this was like maybe like I was just starting out my fitness journey, like sharing it online and stuff. I remember that. And he told me after like 4 months, he's like, Saf, like I have noticed a huge difference in your body. And I was like, thank you. So it's nice. I just had nothing but great things to say about that F45 in Huntington, and like it was just so fun. And then we all became friends, and sometimes they'll do like group hangouts after. So we did a comedy show at F45 like on a Friday, and we all went out like to the local bar and got to like he brought his girlfriend, we got to know his girlfriend and him. Like it was just so fun. I liked that community aspect.
I will say, and I've done F45 and like can confirm I love that. And I do find every time I've done it or know people who do it, they are really good at the community, like outside of the F45. Like they'll have like an outdoor workout in the summertime. Like I've seen that just like a week ago. I was walking in English Bay and there was an outdoor F45.
That's cool.
So it's just like kind of just like, let's do stuff so you feel like like, once again, part of that community, and they really cultivate that with their trainers.
Yeah.
Not every effort. That's the thing. Remember, these are all franchises.
100%.
If you, it's like, just be aware. I was like, if you have a heebie-jeebie, just try a new one. But F45, I confirm that. That's a good one.
What's yours?
Mine, I think it's obvious at this point because I'm just a berries girly. But I will say, not every berries. I won't call it the city, but I've been to one. Bad experience. Bad train. So it's not perfect, but like my one in Vancouver is just like my baby.
Yeah.
I was like, and is it perfect? No. But for me, why I do love it is like, you guys know I like my high intensity. I want music blaring, and they've got that like deep bass. They pay house. They have like dark red rooms. So you do feel like a badass. And for me, it's really fun because I'm working on like speed, and I do like that. Like for me, I go into it just being like trying to get my fastest speed each week, and I do like that it keeps you accountable. There's always other people running, and I do love running on a treadmill. It's not for everyone, but with music playing, it's just kind of, I was like, I get that like club mentality, and they have the mirror. So something like so like meditative for me that you're staring in the mirror on this treadmill and like you're killing yourself, and it's just like you versus you. So I kind of like that. Now the weight aspect, sometimes I love it, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, guys, not everyone could do 100 sit-ups in a row. Like, we're all using our lower back. So sometimes I'm like, and that's why I was like, there's a learning curve with it. But sometimes you go and you have to learn the moves, and then you get, but like the first few times it's a little overwhelming. So go when it's quieter if you've never been, and then progress from there. And it is expensive is another downside. But I will say, I feel like I get my money's worth.
How much is it per class?
I think at like 31.
Okay.
So it's only, it's like one of the more expensive ones, Canadian. So I think it'd be like 27 USD. They're usually in that like the 30 range.
Yeah.
But for me, like they use Orb shampoo and hand wash. That stuff. Like that's like that bougie shampoo.
Can you have a monthly membership?
You can do a monthly membership, which is like $250. I just do like, I buy like a 5 or 10 pack,
gotcha.
and that's my go-to. But yeah, they're just, I love it.
I love that. Okay,
Berry's girly. That's my little treat.
Love it.
Yourself.
The next one is Pilates.
Yeah.
What is yours?
You go, because I
Okay,
doubted.
you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got to rethink this.
Okay, mine is solid core. Granted, I've only taken one other Pilates class, and I was in Huntington with my friend. I liked it, but I love solid core because I love the ambiance, the blue light. It's trendy. It's very New Yorker. I have the one guy we took a class today. His name's Bryce, and he's an instructor. And I love his like teaching. I just like how he like always calls you out, like great job, Savannah, whatever. Like, so it like kind of motivates you. He even like come to you and be like, you can go further. You can do an inch further, right? Yeah. So I like that hands-on approach. And he's just funny. Like he's just like a funny guy to listen to. And also I love their music. And I do think it's a little odd that they focus like on core so much. Yeah. Exactly. I don't love that, but I just, if I'm going to do Pilates, I would prefer it being blaring music and like it, like just that ambiance of like a nightclub. So that's like, I've never done another Pilates class that had that ambiance. So I really just have solid core to go off of with it, but I loved it. So I would recommend.
I guess my problem is like I've done so many Pilates classes, but like one off. I've never had like a full membership. Like I'll do like one or two here, and I'll do drop-ins, and I'll just do class pass.
Oh, and reformer Pilates.
Oh yeah,
sorry,
you're saying, but and that's even where I was starting to be like, oh, reformer Pilates. So Legree and solid core, love them both. They're the reformer. I found them very similar. So I was like, I ranked them as kind of similar. It's that I do like the reformer, and so I do like that aspect. But I think my favorite is Jaybird in Vancouver. It's the hot Pilates, which I'm like, if you listen to the last episode, I'm not really the biggest fan of like hot rooms when you do it, but there's something really nice about like that one is like it's more of like escape the world. Like it's an all black room. You're not allowed to have your Apple Watch on. It has to be like performing. Like it's dark, and you're just like very like in tune with your body, and it's just kind of like, yeah, they're signed about and they play great music, and it's just really, you've got to battle with yourself mentally and physically. So it's like a tough battle with that, because with the heat and the no distractions and like the music, and so I find that one like almost a little animalistic, but it's not like traditional Pilates. So I'll say the green solid core tied for reformers, Jaybird for just like a cool experience.
Okay, I like it.
Those aren't like traditional Pilates. I still need to try some more, and actually that's a YouTube video coming up soon. So
there's a Pilates like reformer, what would that be called? Carriage? I don't even know.
There's like technically
what is it actually called?
So there's two different ones. One we did today, solid core and the gray, are technically a mega reformer.
Okay.
And then like the reformer is like, you've probably seen them. They look a bit more like wooden.
Yes.
And they've kind of got that gate. That's like a true reformer.
Okay. They have that in my gym back in Puerto Rico, and I like don't know how to use it. And now that I've taken some classes, I'm like, I could probably figure this out. Yeah. And just like try it. You know, why not?
I want to try it, and that's why I was like, I still need to do more Pilates to give a full, but that's like been my best experience.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I haven't found the Pilates one yet. I'm on the hunt.
Okay, you're on
DM
the
us
hunt.
if you know.
DM us.
Okay, yoga.
Oh, okay. I have 2 for this. I absolutely love this company here honestly, it's probably all over, but it's called Y7, and it's once again a very New Yorker, small, like, boutique. Like, you get to Madison Square Park and you kind of like go down the street, and it's like this hidden, it's like mixed with a eyebrow threading place, and it's just like 3 flights up, all wooden, and it's like dark, like blackout curtains, candles everywhere. And I loved this girl. Her name's Alexa. She was so sweet. She was a follower of mine. So she came up to me before class and was like, this is so random. You taught me how to lift weights. And I go, oh my gosh, no way. You're about to teach me how to do yoga, ma'am. And so she like had the best energy to this day. She's our favorite instructor. And like, she played like amazing music. And like, I feel like Y7 did a great job with their music choices, where we have like Lizzo and Post Malone and Taylor Swift, all my favorite kinds of people. So you do like these flows, and you just also feel like a badass doing them. I love like nice calming yoga, but that's like not my personality. I want to like, I just want to get that movement in and like bless some Post Malone, you know?
Love that.
But I also like Core Power because I love their sculpt class with weights, because it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's upbeat music. You're moving really fast, and that's why I like it.
I love that. Mine, Sweat and Tonic in Toronto. So they are like a 3-part gym. So the basement is a spin studio, kind of soul cycle-y. The middle is very berries. It's like treadmills, boxing, weights. And the top, they have this yoga studio. And they nailed it with their instructors. Now, this is pre-COVID, so I don't know if it's 100% the same. But just even the format, it was the most well-destructed yoga and like modernized. And like, first of all, they had like hip-hop yoga that was the most popular. It was like twice a week. It was hot yoga, and it was like to Kanye, like you said, Post Malone, like all that. You felt like a badass. And you could like and you kind of had to be experienced, like you have to know your flow, but it was like, if you know a yoga flow, you really got to like show it off and feel like powerful and like dance like, and the music, like it was really fun. But then they have different forms of ones. They have like a beginner, so you can learn there, you can progress, and they have different ones. And also I found it was fun, a lot of the instructors taught you the moves, in the sense like a lot of instructors don't teach you like how to do a headstand. Like, here's time to do the headstand, and there's classes you could take, and they'd be like, hey, we're gonna go against the wall, and everyone learns to do a headstand. And I was just like, because that's one of the funnest part about yoga is like learning the different moves, but you only are like, how'd you learn? They're like, okay, 2 minutes to work on it. You're like, I've never done this. So it was nice.
Absolutely,
they had all those levels, so you could like actually teach yourself and like work towards like the hip hop one.
That is
so
cool.
I was like, that was where I started my yoga journey. So I'm a little biased, but I was like, I tried yoga before. I never stuck with it till I went there.
Okay, yeah.
And then they got me.
It was a good approach for them.
Very much. The classic among classics, spin class.
I am a spin fanatic, and I don't think I've ever talked about this, but when I basically graduated college, I would take a ton of spin classes like in college, and I wanted to become a spin instructor. So I literally paid like $400, enrolled in a spin course.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I was gonna go. Michael and I just moved to California, and we had to change our move-in date, and the date was when I was supposed to be certified for this like weekend. And so I called him up. I was like, I'm really sorry. Do you have another time? They said, we don't have another time for like 6 months. And then I had like bought this book and everything. They couldn't refund me for the book, but they refunded me for the most part. And I just never became a spin instructor. Isn't that crazy?
That's
but I like that's when I knew. I was like, I love spin. I love fitness. So I still am like I don't know if I'd ever do it. I just like doing spin now. But a class here, it's called Cycle Bar. It's all over the States. It's very known. Yeah. And I'd never taken one until I was in Denver with my friend Maddie, and we just went for the morning. Like, Maddie's one of my friends that's always down to do a workout, and we did it when she came to visit me. And I like love that you can be competitive with yourself and other people because it says the name.
Oh, that's nice.
It, like, just all I want to see is like who's winning. So that's my favorite thing about Cycle Bar.
I'll say Cycle Bar is awesome. When it opened in Edmonton, I remember going to the opening one. That's the only time I've been, but I remember the screen was like, I think I had my best one because I was like, there's no way in hell I'm losing this.
I know.
So, like,
I push myself. I'm like about to be done. I'm about to tap out, and then all of a sudden I see that, and I'm like, game face right now.
I love that. So I got my main one, and then a little quick honorable mention. So YG Cycle in Edmonton, it raised me. I like they don't understand like what crap I was going through that year, and I found them, and like they were so welcoming. The class is great. It's kind of like they took Soul Cycle and it was like, what is Soul Cycle missing? We're gonna elevate it. So it's dark room, but they have lights, and it's like all choreographed to the music, and like all the instructors there I love to death. And it's just like such, if you want to be a part of community, you could borderline call it a cult, but they're like just so welcoming. Now YG Cycle, it's in Edmonton. They have YY Cycle in Calgary, and I can confirm this because I have friends who are like, oh, I love this, and they have had the exact same experience in Calgary that I had in Edmonton. It just opened last week in Vancouver, YYC Cycle.
Ooh.
I went. It seems to be. I've only been once, so I'm not going to judge, but so far, love. So, like, YG Cycle raised me. But a special shout-out, Ride Cycle in Yaletown, the 4 p.m. Rave Cave with Michael, phenomenal.
Rave Cave?
Yeah, it's exactly now. If you don't like EDM, you don't like DJ, heavy music, avoid it at all costs. But that's why I don't really enjoy spin. I'm going to be honest.
Really?
Sitting on a bike, take me out of the spin class. I hate it. If I'm on a bike, I want to go places. But what I love is it's like so loud, so dark that you can just like scream and cry. Like it's very animalistic that you can just like let out. So like that's what I crave. And so the rave one is like, it's a dark room and it's just blaring like dubstep, like unts, unts, unts. And it's just like right after a work week. And like so many times I've just had like built up anxiety and I just go there and just like purge it.
Yeah.
And so love it. But that specific class, it's a great studio in general, but I'm like, I only go to that class.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's mine. Okay, next, cardio. So we're just like leaving this as a general cardio because there's also so many forms of ones, and like some involving treadmill, some involving spin, just like a general cardio.
I actually thought of one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure at first.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because I was like, I don't have a strictly cardio except spin.
Yeah.
So I remembered when I first moved to Huntington Beach, I was like looking, and I just gotten into my fitness journey, like I think once again, it must have been around F45 as well, because I remember I started posting because I had a photo shoot coming up. And I was like, man, I want to like add some cardio in before this photo shoot. Like I was going to do a month of like just go balls to the walls, like 2 a days for workouts, right? And I like found this, it was like a boutique. I love the boutique ones that are like independently owned. It was called Wellbe. And I think it was like $100 or $80 or something like that. And you got unlimited classes. And it was, like you had just said about that one, spin, yoga, and a boot camp. I didn't love the boot camp. I was like kind of bored because I like to lift on my own. But I loved the spin and I loved the yoga. And I would do spin every single like Monday through Friday, 5 a.m.
Wow.
You would never catch me doing that now.
Dedicated.
But that was like, everyone is in that phase in their fitness journey that they're like, yeah, let's go. Like, that was me at that time, right? So I loved that, and that would be my cardio, was I just loved doing the 5 a.m. spin, and I got to know all the girls because no one else comes to 5 a.m. randomly.
Yeah. I love that. Now mine, cardio, I gotta give it Champs in Edmonton. Sorry to like everyone else, but it's a boxing one. And now there's some other ones. There's Rumble in Vancouver, Rumble in North America. Also, I've done Rumble in LA and New York. Also had phenomenal experiences.
Oh, you like it? I want to try it.
I do highly recommend it, and it is so fun. Again, it's one of those times you get to work on a skill, so you got to get better. It's a learning curve. I feel the first 1 to 4 times, but then it will click one day, and then you're like, and you get better, and like you just feel like such a badass, and it's such a good workout. But Jelena, she's like a world champion boxer. She opened this studio in Edmonton, and nothing will compare. It's like, also, I'm biased, it's my hometown, but like it's a beautiful stadium. They have this like boxing ring around it, and then you each get your like little boxing pad, and it's kind of dancey. That's why I was like, even if you're like, oh, I'm not a boxer, I was like, if you feel you just want to be a little badass, it's, you learn the 6 punches. So you learn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then once you learn them, they'll go through a pattern. So you'll be like a 1, 2, and like beat to the beat with people, and then they usually throw in some like burpees and crunches. So that's why I was like, it's very cardio based, but it's a really fun way to get your cardio in. It's great for you. And also, I always like the idea of like getting women to do a little bit of MMA. I think it's a self defense, because then you do that and you'll be a little interested. I think we should all do a self defense course at least once in our life, just to learn something. Some people don't believe in that because then you're like overconfident, or that you might. You never have to go, but it's just nice to know confidence in your own body. Yeah. You never know. And I'm not saying a boxing class is going to teach that, but it's just like, it's fun.
Okay.
I definitely
I'll
recommend.
have to check it out. One of my friends raves about Rumble. Yeah. and I just haven't had the time because I think it's a little bit further from me. So I just was like, oh, I'll do it eventually. But you inspired me. I'm going to do it before I leave.
It's one of those like dirty, like, you know, raw. You're like in there. You know, when you need that, it's like good music and you just like let out. Like I've purged some stuff in it.
Okay.
Like you just break up with a guy or piss you off, you hit. Literally just hit. You just take it all out. And I can distinctly remember like 3 boxing classes where I was like, ooh. If that man was that body,
some damage.
Okay.
Doggy.
Well, speaking of some damage, let's talk the worst.
That was a good transition.
I know. Let me go. I'm a podcaster.
Yeah, I know. Look at you go. The worst. Are we gonna quick fire the worst,
or just
what?
Tell your worst experience, or you can just if you have a whole bunch, or like hated, you can do that, or just like tell some worst experiences.
Okay, mine recently, sadly for you, was Barry's. I didn't love the one in New York. And I think it was just too chaotic. I didn't know what he was saying to me because he was like trying to balance runners and lifters at the same time. But I'm sure if I would have gotten used to that rhythm, it was just like, I feel like it wasn't very beginner friendly. Like there wasn't literally zero instruction.
For sure.
So that was it. What's yours? I'll think of the other one while you...
I can confirm, like I said, I've had very bad experiences with berries. And that's why I think I love it. But, like, I've had some times where it's, like, I hate to even say this word, but it felt very, like, pretentious. And, like, something about it. That's why I was like, I love it, but it's all about, like, the studio. But I've had some bad vibes, and I felt, like, very, like, and I'm just, like, love a welcoming atmosphere. I'm there, and sometimes it was just, like, just not welcoming. I don't want to go into details. And then also, I think if you're going to do berries... there's usually like the midday ones are really quiet. And also I've learned this now, like the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they kind of prep you for like the Saturday class. So if you're doing all the instructors class and they're kind of like, we're teaching you these things, then Saturday you like perform them. So it's kind of berries, which I don't agree with. They shape it that you're going every day. So sometimes it doesn't make sense if you don't go every day. And also you shouldn't be going every day. Like I don't think it's attainable for most people financially or recovery wise. So I was like, I kind of agree. But just realize if you're going to go during a quiet time. And then it's because you're like, they're instructing 2 people at the same time at treadmill and that. So like, they'll tell you it once and that's it. And they just expect you to know. So learning curve.
Yeah. So was that also your worst?
I'd say that's a bad one, but it's not my worst. Okay, my worst. And I recorded it. If you go way back in Toronto, I went to like the worst rated fitness day. I don't remember the name. It was like a yoga one. And like, oh my God, it was, because I just like went on Yelp and like, I don't even want to put them on blast because especially it was like small business, honestly.
So
but
don't be that person online.
I know, but also at the same time, I was like, if people are paying money, like, so I went in and within like the first second, there was hair everywhere in the change room. Like to the point I was like, this place has never been sanitized. Like it was like disturbing the amount of like hair that was everywhere. And like I can't even remember, like, so we went to the yoga class and it wasn't like a yin one where you're like relaxing. It was just like we sat there for like 20 minutes and nothing happened. And the instructor, I've never had an instructor like not give an F, just kind of like mad we're there. It was just kind of like, yeah, downward dog. And like wouldn't like do it, just kind of yelled at us, and like people didn't know. Which
like yoga instructors are like supposed to give you good vibes.
I know, and it was like, oh, you're wasting my time. It wasn't like a pretentious. It was just like, oh, I don't give a F about this. So like, you know, you could have a bad day, and like all that. I just remember like the front desk staff, like when I came in, was just like, I was like, oh hi, it's our first class. Like, hey, sign this. It was just like everything was like that.
Yeah,
it was dark. I actually left after like 30 minutes. I was like, this is.
You left.
I've never left a class unless like I won't lie. Sometimes Barry's, I'm like, I'm running late. I'm not staying for the stretch. I'm piecing. Yeah, so I've done that. But like, yeah, I just left after like 30 minutes. I was like, the first 15 minutes we stood there, and then I was getting like yelled at for 5-10 minutes. I was like, this is actually like unbelievably wasted my time. I was like, I can't, and like I just felt like so unwelcome. And it was like maybe it was just like I'm the newbie or whatever, and it wasn't like I dressed like I tried to be like low key and all that, and I didn't bring my camera or anything in that. But
so then did you review them online and blast them?
I did, but I kept it like, now I remember I didn't put the name for that very reason. I was like, I don't need to bring the attention. It was just like, that was a trend at the time. I rate the most, best, and worst. And that's what I was like, I also, and at the same time, I didn't want to put them on blast, but maybe if they heard about it, they would learn.
I mean,
they're the worst rated on Yelp.
I understand that, but I think, at least for me, like, to blast them online when you're a YouTuber would be just bad juju.
I know.
But, like, for you to just call and be like, hey, just so you know, like, I took a class and, like, I had heard it was worse reviews. But even if you told them that, they'd be like, well, you're biased because you're already coming in thinking it's going to be bad.
I know.
That just have been, like, maybe take these into account for next time because people are paying and you're going to go out of business.
And that's why I was like, that was an odd trend, like 3 years ago on YouTube. I was small back then. I was like, oh, I'll just try. And didn't think it was just like try the best and the worst. And that's why I even at the time was like, oh, I don't want to put this thing on blast. And like, I didn't show the instructors anything. It was just more like, mention it. Like you put together, they just, all I remember showing was like the hair in there. And then I just kind of like talked about it and that. Like looking back, it was like one of those things that like, that's a reason I don't do those anymore. But like, I just tried it. And I was kind of like, let's not blast it. But it was like one of those, I was like, how have they not learned when
are they still in business? That's
I don't even remember the name of it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't remember. I just remember it was like in this random underground mall. Like it was just like a weird one. I was just like, I don't know how they haven't changed when they have that many bad reviews.
Totally.
You know what I mean? So at the point, it's like
maybe just in denial, stubborn.
It could be going under, but I've just like never had an experience like that. Just being like the instructor literally just like not even yelled, like push yourself. It was like, yeah, downward dog, up, down. I was like felt like it was like you did not want me there. Yeah. I was just hoping the class was no one was gonna show, and I was like, oh, someone showed up.
Yeah,
that
totally.
kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And like hadn't been cleaned ever.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, I'm getting acne from sitting on this.
Acne.
So that was my worst one.
Okay. I like that. I think my next one was, are we doing 3? Or are we just
there's just the worst experience. And I thought we should do our top 3. And on a positive note, our best 3, not like worst.
Okay,
we don't have, like, I also don't want to, like you said, that's why I'm not even saying these names. And I like about the worst one, we don't want to put anyone on blast. I guess berries, but like I'm like, it's more of like just be conscious.
Yeah. Also, berries, like there's great things and bad things about berries. Like when it's a franchise, so
voted my favorite. So we're just like constructive criticism.
You wouldn't even know the one in New York that I talked about because there's so many in New York.
And looking back, even not to bring back the worst one, but that was like the one thing I said, like there was positives to it. I was like, oh, it was cheap, it was affordable. It was, if you live next to it, like I didn't completely, like there was positives, but I was like, your $12 could go other places. Yeah. So just constructive. But what are your top 3?
My top, from what we talked about?
Just in general, what are your like top 3 classes?
I mean, right now, I'm in a phase of, I really love yoga, so the Y7, just hot yoga in general. I'd say I'm really enjoying solid core as well, and cycle bar. Nice. Basically the ones I reviewed.
I love that.
But I'm not a big, that's the thing, we were talking about this. I'm like, I'm not a big class girl because where I live, there's no classes available. There's a CrossFit class I really want to take. So I've asked all my friends, like, let's go together. Let's see if we can meet more people. But yeah, it's just like when you live in where I do, like a beach town, there's just not a lot of options. So I don't have a lot of experience with it.
I feel that. My number 1, Sweat and Tonic. Love. In Toronto, if I move back, it's because Sweat and Tonic. And then tied for 2 and 3, I don't even know. But it'd be, I don't know which one I pick, but YG Cycle and Champs in Edmonton. And it's just crazy that like I've gone to LA, I've gone to New York and everything, and maybe it's just because it is so homey because Edmonton's a bit smaller town vibe, and like those are just like whenever I go back to Edmonton, I'm like, I'm going, and I love it so much. Edmonton's got a few good things, so go to his fitness classes. Those are my tops.
I love it. Okay, well there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I guess comment on our Instagram what your favorite is, especially if you're in New York. Let me know. Actually, by the time this comes out, I won't be in New York. But when I come back,
we'll be back.
I have a dress fitting. I will try them out.
And also, actually, if you want to submit to confession session, submit in your worst experience. Because that would be your worst experience you've ever had at a fitness class. Did you have hair? Did you have a bad instructor? Did you not know what was going on? Explain. Put the studio on blast or just keep it PG. We don't need to blast the brand. Just tell us the worst experience.
I love that. Yeah. I'm trying to think if I even had like an embarrassing story. Ooh, that's where I'm like, ooh, there's something.
I'm trying to think embarrassing.
I'm like, I always have those all the time.
I'll leave that at this as an example. Okay. We had one embarrassing story at Barry's. And it was actually my friend, but we posted on TikTok, so I think she's okay knowing. So Ash had these pair of Shein leggings. So not the highest of quality. And we're on the floor, and she went to squat. She's in front of me, and she looks back and just panic in her eye. And then she looks at her butt, and she had ripped her leggings all the way. And
she had like, ripped her pants.
And then she just grabbed. I was like, oh, and I grabbed her. And for whatever reason, I that day didn't know what I wanted to wear at the gym, and I changed and had an extra pair of shorts. And so we both sprinted to there, put on the extra shorts, and that's why I was like, I know Shein's cheap, but you're gonna get one workout in.
Absolutely.
It's gonna rip in half.
That's like, I feel like you need to invest in nice gym clothes if you go a lot, just because like, especially if it wear and tears like that, you're going to end up spending just as much money as if you invested in a nicer piece, right? Because you're constantly gonna have to replace it.
like a Lulu, Aloe, Gymshark, Nike. Like I have leggings from those that are like 4 to 5, 6 years old. Like that I've like washed, done everything. And so like a black pair of leggings, yeah, it was $100. But I've gotten way over 100 wears of them versus like a $10 to $15 legging, you get 2 wears.
Yeah, totally.
$1 a wear. That's what I always say. That's like the rule of thumb. If like however many wear, that's how I like judge everything. So like a designer purse. Am I going to use this every day for like a couple of years?
Yeah.
It actually, $1,000 isn't that much versus every weekend going to buying a $10 purse. A $100 pair of leggings is expensive. But if I have that one wear every day, so divide. And that's why I was like, actually, fast fashion is usually the most expensive because you're paying $30 for one wear versus $50 quality T-shirt that you wear 100 times. Boom, 50 cents a wear. $1 wear rule. I think I learned that on Oprah. So I can't.
Oprah.
I think
I wonder
like
what she's up
15 years
to.
ago. Actually,
Being Oprah. You know I love Oprah.
No.
Did you ever watch Drake and Josh?
Oh, I did, but that was.
He was obsessed with Oprah.
I forgot.
Dude, Michael and I have a weird obsession with Drake and Josh.
Have you followed all the drama?
Oh, yeah, like Drake is a creepo.
Yeah, and they're like all this. I've followed all of Josh and like on podcasts and that. I listened to a bunch of them.
Oh, and how he like had addiction, things like that.
Well, that too, but I just meant like their like breakup and like.
Oh, I guess no, I haven't. You'll have to tell me after the podcast so we don't.
There's like
with Drake and Josh.
Just really go on Josh Peck. Just Google. He has a podcast.
He just came out with a podcast with Claudia's husband.
Ben, is it? Bill?
Ben,
yeah. Look at me.
We're best friends. Clearly, best friends.
Claudia has no idea who we are.
No,
we sound crazy.
No. Yep.
But yeah, no, Josh Peck. I remember because I heard him on Morning Toast.
Same.
So they talk a little about the drama. So just like go.
But I didn't hear that on the Morning Toast.
Maybe, there was other one. Just type in on Twitter or Twitter. This is Twitter. This is your Apple, Spotify, YouTube. If you go in the search bar, there's like Josh Peck podcast. It'll come up, and he talks about it.
Okay.
Drama.
The drama.
Oh, you what? Well, you're up there.
But they gave us Miranda Cosgrove as well, which iCarly is also one of my favorite shows ever.
Have you followed all that drama?
Oh, with Sam?
Is that the guy who just...
Yeah, she just came out with that. Yes.
I haven't read it.
But like iCarly has like a 2.0 show on right now.
Oh.
And I love it. Just because I love iCarly.
Okay.
It's not as good as the OG because like Sam and Eddie were just so funny.
Yeah.
But in like the spaghetti taco situation with Spencer, so it's not as good, but it's like it's a nice sentimental thing of like comfort.
Yeah, I never got in the iCarly phase. I don't think it was as popular in Canada because we don't have the same TV shows as
Did you have Life with Derek?
We did
because it's Canadian.
I know. Oh yeah,
because they always said sorry, and I was like, where are they from?
Hey there, bud. Pasta. Say pasta.
Pasta.
There's our accent. That's how you can tell Canadian because you say pasta, we say pasta.
Or you say bag.
Bag. You say bag.
Bag.
Yeah. I guess bag. Bar. Car.
Bar. I feel like we say the same thing.
I know that was the same, but that's what you could tell if it's like an East Coaster. When I went to Halifax, when I came back, they got like the I don't want to say drawl, but the bar, car. It's a little piratey.
Yeah. Yes.
Matey.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, we're gonna matey. I don't know what that was.
I thought you were gonna be like, alrighty then, we're off.
That was way better than mine. You are the podcaster, not me.
I got the transition.
I'm just here for a good time
and a long time.
Hey, I was saying the ending is, and not for a long time, but I'm in it for the long haul. There we go. Stop finishing my sentence, woman. I'm sorry.
I didn't know if you were struggling.
I was struggling.
I was like, you were struggling 5 seconds
ago. I was like,
I
need to go.
I was like,
I need some food.
I'm cutting this off in 3, 2, 1. Bye, love you.
Bye.